This is one of my fun stories. I really do like this story. I'm going back about 15 years to when I was in America. One of the guys working for me was a guy called Eric. He was a very bright developer, full of wit. He was great fun to be with. And we'd gone out to San Francisco for a meeting. And we'd gone the night before and we were staying in a hotel. And the staff in the hotel were incredibly, what's the word? They just said, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? Big smiles. They were just good. But at the same time, it all seemed a little bit false. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. I'd actually noticed this and thought, this is weird. They're kind of being too nice. And the following morning, we'd gone down to breakfast, and the waitress was exactly the same. She was all gushy and being very friendly and smiles and laughing. And on her apron, she had a big round badge, and on it was 5/10. And we joked with her and said, does that mean the 5th of October, or does that mean the 10th of May? Because you're probably aware that Americans and Brits have their date formats around the wrong way. Brits do DD/MM, Americans do MM/DD. And she said, oh no, she said, it's nothing to do with that at all. This was the fun bit. She said, it's to remind myself and others that if we pass within 10 feet of a guest, we must smile at them. If we pass within 5 feet of a guest, we must engage them in some form of conversation. How's your day? Have a nice day. What have you? All those lovely American phrases that they tend to come out with. And so we thought that was hilariously funny. But the funniest bit was yet to come. As we left the restaurant, there was a member of staff not far from the exit. And as we left, she simply said to us, have a nice day. And my friend Eric looked at her. He looked at the distance between us, and his response was, we're more than 5 feet away. A smile would have been sufficient. But that story stuck with me for a long time because the objective for the hotel staff was to be more friendly and to provide a better experience for the guest. But they'd replaced the objective with the measure. That's if you were less than 5 feet, you had to say something. If you're more than 10 feet, it could be a smile. And it was just so wrong. About the same time, I read an article in a magazine where it seems that Kmart checkout staff was saying TYFSAK to customers as they left. And it seems that on the back of their tills were the letters TYFSAK. And what it was meant to do was remind them to say, thank you for shopping at Kmart. But they were lazy. They weren't too worried about saying such things. So they simply said, TYFSAK, much to the sort of bemusement of the customers. So that there are lots of issues and there's lots of stories around measures kind of replacing the true objective. We've seen it in the National Health Service in this country over the last few years, where the government are trying to, if you like, force the National Health Service to meet particular service standards through measures, and you see how the measures actually distort the behaviour. So if I look at this and draw my lessons from it, I guess the first thing is exactly that, is that measures distort people's behaviour. If you measure something, invariably in some way you will distort it. And you've got to think very hard when you're using measures as to what the side effects are. Someone once said that as soon as a measure becomes an objective, it's a very bad measure. You've got to give people responsibility, I think. I think this is a big part of it, that more and more you've got to tell people very broadly, or agree with people, not tell them, agree with people very broadly what it is you're trying to achieve. And then give them the responsibility to do it, and step back and step away. And if things do start to go wrong, or you see things that are not going maybe the way that you would like them to, then it's not about reprimanding them. It's about going in and having a conversation with them and really getting to understand what the issues and what the problems are, and then giving them the help and support that they need to get their to get their job done. Measures are useful, but they shouldn't be the objective, and you've got to be very, very careful in applying measures.